On January 17th, 2026, the San Francisco 49ers suffered one of the most devastating losses in NFL playoff history. A 41-6 beatdown at the hands of the Seattle Seahawks that wasn't just embarrassing, it was historically bad. And today, we're diving deep into the numbers to understand just how catastrophic this performance really was. Let's start with the scoreline, 41-6, a 35-point margin of victory in a divisional round playoff game. To put that into perspective, since the year 2000, there have been 60 divisional games in the NFL playoffs, and only 2 have had larger margins of victory. The 2000 Giants destroying the Vikings 41-0, and the 2014 Patriots demolishing the Colts 45-7. The San Francisco 49ers Seahawks game ranks as the third biggest divisional round blowout out of 60 games spanning 25 years. That puts it in the top 5%, or the 95th percentile, of all divisional round blowouts since 2000. Think about that. Out of 60 playoff games at this stage, there are only 2 that were worse. This isn't just a bad loss, it's a once-in-a-generation meltdown. And here's the thing. Playoff games are supposed to be getting more competitive. The trend line actually shows margins getting smaller over time as teams get more evenly matched and the league achieves more parity. Yet the 49ers managed to buck the trend in the worst possible way, delivering the most lopsided game in modern playoff history. But the final score only tells part of the story. Let's look at expected points added per play, or EPA, which measures how valuable each play is, and it's the gold standard for analyzing efficiency. During the regular season, the 49ers averaged .114 EPA per play. That's solid. That's above average offense. The league average is .021, so they're one of the better teams in football. But in this playoff game, they're negative .29 EPA per play, and that's just not below their season average. That's the worst team in the NFL when you look at their regular season performance. And now look at their success rate. Their percentage of plays that with positive EPA tells the same story. They went from 52% in the regular season, which is above the league average, to just 42.5% in this playoff game. And that would rank them in the bottom 3 teams in the entire NFL. The 49ers didn't just play poorly, they played like the worst team in football for 60 minutes. Now the obvious question. Was this about the 49ers collapsing, or is Seattle's defense and offense just that dominant? So here's where things get interesting. Every team that played Seattle in the regular season saw their offense get worse. That's normal. Seattle has the best defense in the league. The average team declined by .27 EPA per play when facing Seattle. But the Niners, well, they just excel. They declined at .404 EPA per play, which is almost double the effect that Seattle has on typical teams. While other teams struggled, the Niners completely fall apart. But look at Tampa Bay. They're at the top of this chart, and they actually played better against Seattle's defense this season. So it can be done, but the 49ers had the worst performance of any team against Seattle, so where exactly did everything go wrong? Let's break it down. Passing. The 49ers went from .2 EPA per pass play in the regular season to negative .48 in the playoff game. Their passing attack was completely neutralized, and their rushing isn't much better. We went from negative .02 to negative .4. Both phases of offense were completely destroyed. First down, negative. Second down, historically bad. Third down, the Niners went from being an elite third down efficiency team to being completely shut down. And the most shocking part about this all, in their own territory between the 1 and 25 yard line, the 49ers actually had a positive EPA in the playoff game. But the moment they crossed the 35 yard line, everything collapsed. They couldn't finish drive, and they couldn't capitalize on opportunities. They couldn't even get into the red zone. And finally, explosive plays. Gains more than 1 EPA. In the regular season, 18% of their plays were explosive. In this game, just 10. Meanwhile, negative plays, the ones that killed drives, jumped from 45% to 56%. More than half of their plays lost value. Now, we focused a lot on offense, but the 49ers defense wasn't innocent either. During the regular season, they allowed .038 EPA per play, and in the playoff game, they allowed .277 EPA per play. That's a decline of .23 EPA per play. So Seattle didn't just beat them. Seattle actually had one of their best offensive games of the entire season. Everything that could go wrong for San Francisco did go wrong on both sides of the ball. So what have we learned? The 49ers didn't just lose a playoff game, they had one of the worst playoff performances by any team in modern NFL history. They were the third biggest divisional round blowout in 25 years, and they played with the efficiency metrics that would have made them the worst team in the league. They collapsed twice as hard against Seattle as the average team, and both their offenses and defenses had generational meltdowns simultaneously. Sometimes the numbers tell us a story that's even more painful than the final score. This wasn't just a loss, it was a complete and utter collapse when it mattered most. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the deep dive, don't forget to like and subscribe. What do you think? Was this more about the 49ers choking, or Seattle that good? Let me know in the comments below.